Her phone buzzed on the table between us, once, then again. Face down, silent, insistent. I watched her eyes flicker, not to me, not to the waiter, but inward, like a door slammed shut. She smiled too late, lifted her glass, said my name as if it were an apology. Business dinner ran long, she'd said earlier. The words were still warm in the air. Fresh lies sweat. Another buzz. I felt the room tilt. Not panic, calculation. A cold note slid under my ribs. I stood, walked to the bar, ordered nothing, watched the reflection in the mirror. Me, composed. Her, unraveling by inches. The phone buzzed again. I knew then. Not the details, just the shape of it. A shadow behind her eyes. A second life pressing to be let out. When I returned, she was already tucking the phone into her purse. Too careful, too practiced. I sat, smiled, took her hand, and felt how far away she already was. On the drive home, she talked. Quarterly targets, a new client, names that meant nothing. I nodded at the right moments, counted exits. At a red light, her phone lit up in the cup holder. A preview. One line. Table by the window. Miss you. She swiped it away fast. Too fast. I didn't ask. Questions are loud. Silence listens. That night, she slept facing the wall. Her breathing even, rehearsed. I lay awake, inventorying the small changes I'd dismissed. Late nights, new perfume, the way she guarded her screen like a secret pulse. I told myself it could be anything. I told myself that until it stopped working. In the morning, she kissed my cheek, a touch without weight, said she'd be out again, another dinner. I watched her leave, counted the seconds after the door closed, felt the house exhale. Betrayal isn't a scream, it's a pressure, a slow compression of truth until it clicks. I didn't feel angry, I felt precise. I became patient. I checked phone records while the coffee brewed. Numbers repeated, times overlapped with her meetings. I memorized patterns, built timelines. At work, I smiled, delivered, applauded her promotions when she announced them. Success fit her story. It gave cover. I followed once, from a distance that kept me invisible, watched her park not near the office but across town, a restaurant with linen tablecloths and soft light. Business. I waited, watched the window. She leaned in, laughed with her eyes. He touched her wrist. Not accidental, familiar. I took a photo, not for proof, for closure. At home, I installed an app she once asked for, to track expenses. It tracked more than that. Locations, late nights mapped like constellations. Through it all, I stayed calm. I cooked, I listened, I learned. The storm stayed inside. Control is quieter than rage. The receipt arrived in my email by mistake, a forwarded thread she forgot to delete. Hotel, weeknight, 2 glasses of wine charged to the room. I printed it, folded it once. That evening, I set it on the table between us, the same place her phone had buzzed days before. "What's this?" she asked. I said nothing. She read, color drained, her mouth opened, closed. The room held its breath. "It's not what you think," she started. I raised a finger, gentle, final. I slid my phone across, the photo, the map, the call log. Her shoulders collapsed, not from guilt, from being seen. "I was going to tell you," she whispered. I nodded, because that was the story she needed to survive. I felt nothing. I didn't yell. I didn't ask why. I told her I'd already filed, that the accounts were separated, that the email to HR had been sent, her company's policy printed and highlighted. Her eyes widened. "You wouldn't." I did. She reached for me, stopped halfway, knew better. I stood, packed a single bag, left everything else where it was, her trophies, her lies, the weight of them. At the door, I turned. "He knew," I said. "About me, about us." I made sure. Her face cracked. The sound she made stayed with the walls. I left without another word. Revenge doesn't need volume. It needs timing. The silence afterward was clean. I slept deeply, woke without the old ache. The world felt sharper, like a lens finally focused. People asked how I was. I said fine, and meant unburdened. I didn't check her messages. I didn't look back. Some truths don't ask for forgiveness. They demand distance. What we had ended long before I caught it. I just chose the moment to close the door, and this time it stayed shut.